The basic purpose of a resume is to make the recruiter remember you in a good and hireable way in the limited time span the recruiter devotes to you. One of the ways of making an impression is by using the right keywords on your resume. The choice of keywords for a resume shall be the focus of this podcast. Let's look at an example of how word choice makes a difference. The iPhone 5 is a very good phone, and its display resolution is also very good. It has a very good operating system. That's one way of communicating. We use the same drab, overused, non-descriptive word good over and over again. Let's say the same thing a little different. The iPhone 5 is awesome. Its display resolution is amazing. It has a fantastic operating system. That better? Well, the reason is the use of different, descriptive, and more appealing words. Human beings create mental pictures from different and descriptive words, and they remember these mental pictures. We need to use this technique of choosing the words that make an impression. We'll see how. Your resume is the place to show off your vocabulary. Human beings could have very well communicated everything with just the word thing. But instead, we came up with words like the Batmobile or Optimus Mega Prime, simply because these words communicate more information to us, using which we draw a mental picture. This mental picture appeals to us simply more than hearing the bland, meaningless word thing. So practically, you want to give the recruiter that mental picture of you. You want to be the creator who creates apps instead of being a programmer who programs apps. Or you want to be a revolutionary who transforms the database management system as opposed to a modifier who simply modifies them. The replaced words mean roughly the same thing as the replacements, but they help you stand out, as now they make you look better than everyone else and force the recruiter to remember you because of the mental picture they have of you now. Overused words are another problem with resumes. The recruiter has to go through about 1,000 resumes. If he sees the words work and no even 10 times on a resume, he would have read them 10,000 times. And the next time he reads them, he would just skip ahead, trash the resume, or start pulling out his hair. Hence, it is critical we don't use these or any other overused and non-descriptive words. So instead of being a worker who worked on a task, be an administrator who administered, or an executive who executed the task. The word know is also an overused word. So instead of knowing Chinese, be proficient or fluent in Chinese. Sometimes in an effort to stand out, we actually end up hurting our chances. There are certain words that do make us stand out, but not in a good way. For example, if your resume reads facilitated or assisted in a project, it implies you were not really integral to the project. This further raises the question that if you weren't integral to the project, why put it on your resume? So do you actually lack things to put on your resume? So you don't want to use words that make you look weak. Instead, you want to use stronger words like collaborated or co-produced a project. These strong words actually show that you were integral to the project and really did something worthwhile while you worked on the project, so you want to use them.
So by now you must be wondering, where do we find these words you keep telling us to use, right?
Well, why don't you start with the job ad itself? If the job requires, say, competency with Windows, then putting exactly that on your resume could open a lot of doors for you. The internet is also a good place to look for words. But if you go with a strong sounding and descriptive word from the internet, make sure it means what you think it does before you put that down. Remember, at the end of the day, the recruiter can react to your resume in only one of two ways. Either, Bob, you're such a good candidate for the job, or Bob, you're such a boss candidate for the job. The sentences differ only by one word. Makes all the difference. To sum it all up, use different, descriptive, strong, and not overused words on your resume. That's all from me. Best of luck and hope to